Okay, so today I've noticed an issue in one of my own dogs, Manny, who's a miniature dachshund, boy, 6 months old, and he has an issue which I'll highlight first before we start going through the training, where he gets really overexcited when he's being touched. No? Good boy. And he starts kind of frantically moving around, flipping over. Sometimes when he's outside he'll wee a little. And it's really normal for puppies to kind of behave like that sometimes, especially when they meet people in the street that just talk to them in a really excited kind of, oh, isn't he lovely, little sausage, ah! And he just can't control himself. So today I've been working on desensitizing him, firstly to touch, with the aim to then desensitizing him further to a more arousing way of greeting him, you know. So to start with, I'm going to be really calm when I'm stroking him and just desensitizing him to me initially touching him and running my hands along him, and then as the days go on, then I'll start raising the criteria by adding a more excited voice to that kind of setup. And we've already done a couple of sessions on this already today, so already he's calmer than he initially was, because he already has a foundation of what we're kind of doing now. And today I'm using these really awesome treats by Pure, not sponsored by them, and they're actually the meaty toppings to put on top of their dehydrated food, but they're really good treats for small little dogs. They'd be no good for big dogs because they just inhale them, but they're really good for small little dogs like Manny. Good boy. So to start with this process, step one is to feed him consistently whilst I'm stroking him. Okay, so the reinforcement food is constant whilst he's being stroked. So we're building an association there of he's lying down, he's getting constant reinforcement from my hand there by way of food, and my body, and my hand is stroking down his body. So he's getting used to the sensation of my hand being on him and him remaining in a stable position rather than being frantic. Good boy. So the next stage up from that we've got to today is me stroking him and him remaining relatively calm and then rewarding him. Yes. Yes. And I'm using my marker word there to communicate that that's correct. Yes. Good. And I'm using a duration marker of good, which Manny already understands because he's got foundations in bits of healing. So I've already used a duration marker in that context. So he already understands that good, when I say good, it means what you're doing currently is correct. Keep doing it, and the reinforcement's going to come at some point. Good. Yes. We've then started progressing to moving the food out of sight, because often what can happen is if the food's here and the dog can see it easily, it often becomes like a visual cue, and the dog can become really reliant on it. Oh, I'm only doing it because I can see that the reinforcement's there. And then when you don't have that food on you, the dog is, good girl, the dog is struggling with the behaviour. So then I start to move my hand out of the way. Good boy. Yes. Good. Yes. And he's coping really well with that, which is great. And that's something that I'm going to be working on now with me. And then I'll start bringing other people into that equation to start generalising that more so that he's able to cope with other people touching him, not just me. And to start with, I'll be doing that with other people, with me actually consistently giving him the food. So taking it back a step, but because I've raised the criteria in the sense that there's a new person in the equation, so we might have to drop the criteria slightly. Excellent, Manny, good job. Good boy. Good. Good boy. So this is a little bit of the behaviour that we had to start with, where he's just kind of really fizzy. Good boy. And partly that's really normal for puppies as well, you know, to want to be playful, but I'd rather that was on cue. So if I'm, sit. Good boy. So there, he's maybe got confused with high five. High five. High five. Yes, good boy. And also Manny's really young still, so he's still really early in his training. Down. Good boy. But that's what I've been doing today and what I'll be doing over the next couple of days with Manny.